Welcome to the 2018 Krewe of Hercules Parade. The military jeep presenting the American flags. Homadoon Patrol. Cajun Grotto. Homa Roadrunners. Plata Temples, number 15. Homa Shriners. The Krewe of Hercules president, Mark Petrie, has been a member of the Krewe of Hercules for 16 years and has been the president for the past 6 years. Mark has 2 floats in the parade with 70 members between the two. Mark is a dedicated employee of the District Attorney's Office as the Director of Child Support Enforcement.
From the board of directors, the Krewe of Hercules, the court, the honestly, wives, ma'am, thank you, we salute you and your husband for a great, awesome year. The honestly, y'all precious, y'all gorgeous, thank you. You and my families, it was an honor, a pleasure, thank you guys. Good wives, Maxine's wives, thank you guys. Without you guys, we can't do it well. To my honors committee, thank you guys for making it easy. Thank you. Raise your glasses up. Raise them up. For this year's sport, and to you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. One more time. Krewe of Hercules.
Special Honorary Grand Marshal and Terrebonne Arc Don Price. Hercules hosted a social at the Hercules Den with approximately 200 people with food and music as they viewed our floats. Hercules will make this an annual event where they will place a special honorary Grand Marshal into the parade. Special Honorary Queen, School for Exceptional Children, Allison Desmore. Hercules will make this honor annually. This is one of the most exciting things that could happen to these special children. Krewe Sophisticats Marching Group. Started by S.P. LaRussa and a few members of Hercules as a way to participate in other parades. The name Krewe is Hercules spelled backwards, with the Y replacing the H. This group now participates in parades throughout the state. Float number 1, Grand Marshal and Parade Captain S.P. LaRussa. Grand Marshals, New Orleans Saints mascots, Gumbo and Sir Saint. S.P. LaRussa founded the crew 34 years ago and has also served as the parade captain all of those years. Better known as Mr. Mardi Gras in the Tri-Parish area, the only super crew in Houma, today Hercules is the largest men's carnival club with over 750 members, 2 mega floats, and 27 super floats. Sponsored by Healthy Air Duct Cleaning, mold remediation, duct fabrication, marine hood cleaning. HL Bourgeois School Band, directed by Michael Oquang. Float number 2, King Hercules the 34th. Michael Dardar Sr., sponsored by South and Dodge of Houma. Royal Pages, Karen Beverly Dardar, Madison Claire Nakan, Zachary Joseph Adams, Emily Ray Boudreau, Annabelle Marie Adams, Jordan Zachary Paul Grove. King Michael Dardar Sr. King Hercules the 34th is Michael W. Dardar Sr., a Native American Indian of the United Houma Nation, which we believe is the first Native American king to reign from Mardi Gras in Terrebonne Parish. He has been a member of the Krewe of Hercules for 18 years. He has been a businessman for the past 20 years and owner of Polar Auto Air LLC. He and his wife, Eunice, have been married for 30 years and have 3 children, Michael Jr., Erica, and Matthew. They are the proud grandparents of 3 grandchildren, Karen, Leland, and Aliyah Dardar. He is the son of Thomas and the late Beverly Dardar, and he has 6 brothers and 5 sisters. He has been an active member of Hercules since 1999. He's held several titles in the club, including board member and float lieutenant. King Mike was also a duke in 2004 under the reign of King Hercules the 19th, Ray LeConte. He participates in all the events and parties with the club. His float also serves the community with various activities, including adopting a family at Christmas time and bringing them food and gifts for the children.
Hercules! King Hercules the 34th! And to the goddesses and the dukes, God bless you. You'll have a great time. And welcome to the city of Houma. So on behalf of the Office of Vice President, City of Houma, Parish of Terrebonne, in the name and by the authority of the Parish of Terrebonne, those of you that I have nominated, constituted, and appointed, and by these present to nominate, constitute, and appoint King Hercules, the 34th, Michael Dardar. In testimony whereof I have here to set my hand as my official signature and cause to be affixed the seal of the city of Houma, Parish of Terrebonne, this second day of February, the year of our Lord, 2018. Hail the King! Hail the King! Again, it's my honor and pleasure to present you the great key to the city of Houma, Louisiana. Hail the King! And God bless each and every one of you. God bless the Parish of Terrebonne, City of Houma, and God bless the United States of America. Here's the King.
This is the greatest Vice President that we've ever had. Mr. Love, this is yours.
Long live the King! don't know why. I just send it up. They all wrapped up. I didn't think it was cold and light. It ain't cold, that's it. It ain't cold, ain't no cold in here. Hey, I'm drinking them alcohol tonight. If I get sick, that's some cold. I'm not smoking the cigarettes now. I still like some food right now. That asshole, he was on the top. I was on the bottom. He kept going in the box. All I had to do was roll him over the side. See if he'll roll that in. Hey, what's my car? Let's go.
Float number 3, Hercules title float. Hercules celebrates the saints. Float captain Michael LaRussa. Sponsored by Caldwell Banker, LaRussa Real Estate Agency. Float nicknamed Black Sheep. Lieutenants Ron Ward, Ryan Arsenault, Dex Carmadel. Captain of the Royal Court, Michael LaRussa. Charter member SP LaRussa, Parade Captain. Past King, Donnie Norred, the 1st. Ricky Carmadel, the 15th. Ron Ward, 30th. Duke Brent English, and Goddess Casey Dardar. number 4, Saints 2009 World Champions. Float Captain Harold Walker. Sponsored by Polar Auto Air LLC. Float nickname Joker's Wild. Lieutenants Harold Walker, Michael Dardar. Charter members Harold Walker, past Vice President and past Secretary. Jesse Leday, past Board member, past Club President and Vice President, oldest living member in the Krewe of Hercules, and original Board of Directors and founder of Hercules. A veteran of World War II and Korean Wars. Duke Harold Walker Jr. Duke Tony Martinez. Duke Michael Thibodeau. King Hercules the 34th Michael Dardar Sr. Goddess Skylar Duplantis. Goddess Jordan Charpentier. Goddess Taylor Bassell. Float number 5, Superdome built in 1975. Float Captain Nelson Kramer. Sponsored by NAM's Tire Service. Float nickname No Fear. Lieutenant Whitney Kramer. Keith Doslett. Curtis Marcel and Rodney McHugh. Past Kings Dwight Kramer, the 24th. Todd Bourgeois, the 17th. Head Duke Curtis Marcel. Duke Joshua Nakan and Duke Anthony Rossell. Goddess Taylor Turner, Goddess Dayla Ray Higgins, and Goddess Bailey Kramer. Ellender Memorial High School Band with director Anthony Joseph. Float number 6, When the Saints Go Marching In. Float Captain Mark Chauvin. Sponsored by BD Float. Float nickname Broke Dick Float. Lieutenants Brian Angeron, Bobby Lawrence, and Eric Angeron. Float number 7, the Dome Patrol. Float Captain Jan Rogers. Sponsored by Dardar & Sons Motor Service Incorporated. Float nickname Bebop. Lieutenants Daniel Terrio, Lane Rogers, Keith Marcel, Ryan Landry, and Steve Bonvalet. Float number 8, Who Dat Nation. Float Captain Jason Loop. Sponsored by Blue Water Rubber and Gasket Company. Float nickname Snafu. Lieutenants Dennis Duplantis, Bill Bush, Corey Rhodes, and David Boudreau. Float number 9. Saints referee making the call with Float Captain Dwayne Baudouin, Vice President, sponsored by Alpha Rental Tools, LLC, and B&D Contracting. Float nickname The Party Guys. John Bowie, Club Treasurer. Lieutenants Justin Alama, Daniel Barbera, Ray Liner, Brandon Domingue, and Donnie Daigle. Charter members Dwayne Claymont and Russell Grove. Past Kings Dwayne Baudouin. The 26th, John Bowie. The 21st, and the late Norris Nakan, 14th. Evergreen Junior High School Band with director Eric Solomon. Float number 10, Saints mascots. Float Captain Ralph Learett Jr., sponsored by Wilson Oysters. Float nickname CRS. Lieutenants Mike Price, Robert Learett, and John Ditch. Charter member and past president Ray LeConte. Past King Ray LeConte, the 19th. Robert Hess, the 23rd. And Duke Robert Learett, and Goddess Kristen Learett. Float number 11, Saints Cooking Pot. Float Captain Danny Piku. Sponsored by Coastline Crane Repairs Incorporated. Float nickname Handy Cap. Lieutenants Russell LaBeouf and Marshall Markham. Charter members Danny Piku, CJ Bro, Past King Johnny Roy the 5th, Lloyd Baudelache the 7th, and Roy Pellegrin the 11th. Float number 12, the Zebras, with Float Captain Charles Lejeune. Sponsored by Green Wing Rentals LLC. Float nickname Bushwhackers. Lieutenant Brian False, Jason Flick, Oben Duplantis. Float number 12, Tandem. Float Captains James Kelly. Float nickname Booze Brothers. Lieutenant Philip Bergeron. Float number 13, Saints. Float Captain Nick Chanel. Sponsored by Tatco Machine and Repair LLC. Float nickname TGOB, the Good Old Boys. Lieutenants Perry Petrie, Merlin LaBeouf Sr., Merlin LaBeouf Jr., with Past King Rudy Martin the 28th, and Duke Joshua Uze with Goddess Destiny Bayrock. Float number 14, the Legends of Hercules. Float Captain Mark Petrie. Sponsored by Gator Equipment Rentals. Float nickname 2FB. Lieutenants Eric Falcon, Jeff Miller, Tommy Rodriguez Jr., Blaine Dupre, Terry Petrie, and Thomas Wazan. Float number 15, Saints Grim Reaper. Float Captain Mark Petrie. Sponsored by Gator Equipment Rentals, with the float nickname 2FB, and Lieutenant Norman Schiffler and Tony Gotro. Float 16, Saints Fans, with Float Captain Dusty Dupre. Sponsored by Commercial Signs. Float nickname Whoa. Lieutenants Jamin Dupre, Rustin Leday, Eric Lyons, and Justin Richardson. Good Time DJ Trailer number 2. DJ Explosive with Ronnie Chasson. Float number 17, Saints Training Camp. Float Captain Damon Bergeron, sponsored by Uptown Interior and Exterior Decorating. Float nickname Loose Goose. Lieutenants Paul Bardelaman, Tyler Blanchard, and Ricky Boudreau. Om Records Entertainment and DJ Tiny. Tommy Bezier. Float number 18, Bless You Boys. Float Captain Renee Hebert. Float nickname Cajun Animals. Sponsored by Rhodes Electronics. Lieutenants Mark Rhodes, James Boudreau, Brian Boudreau, and Jerry Boudreau. Charter members Dane Peanut Leday. Past Kings Dr. O'Neill Orgeron III. Jerry Boudreau the 8th. L.J. Hebert the 10th. Julius Hebert the 27th. And Dane Peanut Leday the 9th. And Larry Eshtay the 32nd. Two Shots Till Sunday DJ, Kyle Lejean. Float number 19, Saints Songs. Float Captain Mike Porsche. Sponsored by On-Site Alignment, LLC. Float nickname Fubar, with Lieutenants Will LaBeouf, Jordan Verdun, David Dupree, and Leonard Oakers. Float number 20, Fleur de Lis. Float Captain M.J. Plaisance. Sponsored by All Industrial Medical Services, LLC. Float nickname, The Big Nasty. Float Lieutenants Lance Dufran, Brad Gautreau, and Mac Nakan. Float number 21, Dirty Birds. Float Captain P.J. Hebert, sponsored by Southland Dodge of Thibodaux. Float nickname Rough Riders. Lieutenants Steve Bergeron, Jeremy Phillips, Joel Trish, and Brad Domang. Past Kings, Thad Scott, the 29th. Courtney Acosta, 16th. With Duke William Hadaway and Goddess Kristen Dupre. Float number 22, the Aints. Float Captain Clay Nakan. Sponsored by Bookkeeping Express. Float nickname Patula. Not all there. Lieutenants Wayne Bergeron, Steve Trusclair, Troy Nakan. Past Kings, Dr. Shane Zerang, the 25th, and Terry Pierce, the 31st. Down South Production and Entertainment, Jordan Howski. Float number 23, Go Tigers. Float Lieutenant Corey Groh. Sponsored by Pelican Medical Supply. Float nickname Cajun Wolfpack. With Lieutenants Sam Kramer, Lynn Hebert, Jonathan Bourgeois, and Derek Groh. Float number 24, Benson Boogie, with Float Captain Mickey Cadwell. Sponsored by Vino Remix and Kimball Investments. Float nickname Beast Mode. Lieutenants Clayton Brunet, Matt Dayrosh, Howard Terrio. Float number 25, Katrina blows Saints to San Antonio, with Float Captain Jad Dardar. Sponsored by Bumper to Bumper Detailing. Float nickname DOA, with Lieutenants Thomas Semino, Tony Falgu, and Stephen Falgu. Float number 26, Superdome on the Move, with Float Captain Sean Boudreau. Sponsored by Big Al's Restaurant. Float nickname Mardi Gras Yard Dogs. Lieutenants Darren Martin and Chris Kramer. Past Kings Al Mahler, the 6th. Lawrence Zoe Robinson, the 17th. with charter members Al Mahler, Curtis Marcello, Freddie Bourgeois, and Bobby Hebert. Duke Sean Boudreau and Duke Randy Landry, with Goddess Claire Brower and Goddess Corinne Landry. Float number 27, Mardi Gras Saints Jester, with float captain Randy Malassa, sponsored by Sharon's Bar and Grill. With a float nickname of Wrecking Crew, Lieutenants Jordy Berg, Mike Dubois, Timothy Davidson, and charter member Michael Rhodes, with past king Craig Jacuzo the 33rd. Float number 28, 1967 John Gilliam's first play touchdown. Float captain Robert Whitney, sponsored by Cajun Enterprise of Houma Incorporated. Float nickname X-Rated, with Lieutenants DJ Porsche, Brian Brunet, TC Camille, and Josh Landry. Float number 29, Saints Take Flight, with Float Lieutenant P.J. Tatum Jr., sponsored by Mandalay Design and Custom Shutters. Float nickname X-Rated. Lieutenants Craig Moore and John Trusclair. King Hercules the 34th, the 2018 Krewe of Hercules Parade.